Bros, tis I, T-Shroom here, in for the Investing Bros, and we are going to have a little bit of fun sticking it to the bears today. We're going to be taking our profits, we're going to be taking our gains, we're going to be taking all of our exuberance, our enthusiasm, and in some cases our euphoria, and we're going to be sticking it to the bears today. Because today, I am about to embark on my bachelor party. So that is the reason. That is the real fundamental reason. JP Morgan's been talking about it, right? Goldman Sachs, the boys over at Merrill Lynch have even been talking about it. So we're going to have some fun today. In Crux saying LOL the thumbnail. That's right. Today might be a little bit off the wagon, might be a little bit of a loose cannon, shooting from the hip, being a little crazy, being a little wild, but we're going to have some fun. We're going to jump into the charts. And what's nice is that these charts are actually very bullish. Can you believe it? So we're going to start here on the ChainLink chart. ChainLink doing really, really well. Was able to... now, this is a really weird pattern that I had drawn out here. Don't pay no attention to the actual lines and what they may or may not mean. I was just kind of experimenting. I don't do a whole lot of charting on Link, but we got to this morning because, look, this baby is pumping from these lows back here. Big Link got up 30%, live price 27% to the upside. Very, very nice. And it looks like it's not slowing down too much. Let's take a look at the momentum oscillators here. This is the oscillator matrix. Got the hyperwave just pointing straight on up in full salute there. Money flow flowing positive. We got the bros rolling in. We're going to skip over to the chat here in just a second. But we're taking a look here at ChainLink in the early hours of the 9 o'clock block. Green histograms just excitedly moving to the upside. We've had some bullish momentum here building since the 15th for ChainLink. And that is pretty good to see. And it is now really starting to play out. So big kudos to, now what was I looking at there? Hold on, I'm getting a little, okay, I see. Okay, yeah. So momentum, bullish momentum had been building all through here. And now we're seeing a nice little explosion. Now that explosion, we covered on the 3 p.m. I actually don't have an article for it, but that explosion to the upside for ChainLink is unique. It is a fundamental story. As you can see, there wasn't really a technical breakout that happened outside of just breaking out of this uptrending line of what was resistance, I suppose. To be honest with you, this line is not meaningful. I don't know why I have this line here. The meaningful line would be here. And I don't know, again, I don't know why I had that drawn. Sometimes you have stuff drawn. Let me know, bros. Have you ever opened up a chart and seen a line and been like, why the heck did I have that line there? So these are much more significant lines. And then this midline of the Bollinger Band here was also a pretty big factor. Once that 4-hour, that daily candle printed, there was not a rejection there. It just finished printing. And then this next candle just blew up. So what was the fundamental news on this one? So ChainLink basically was revealed to be doing a lot of experimentation, a pilot, so to speak, with some very big names on Wall Street, BNY Mellon, and others. BNY Mellon, of course, being the oldest bank in the United States that is currently operating. Let's see. Username said, I learned about Link yesterday, but Tim didn't tell me to buy. Sad. Yeah, well, Tim's been sick. He's been off his game a little bit. Congrats, T-Shroom. Keep hydrated, my friend. Thank you. And I will be. Got my hydration beverage here. My hydration beverage. Let's see. All right, let's jump over to the Bitcoin charts. Now, I brought this all to your attention. I believe it was either Monday or Tuesday. The Gold Prairie brought it to my attention, the account on Twitter, Gold Prairie. But take a look at this freaking chart right here. Bitcoin versus gold. It looks absolutely beautiful. We're getting a nice breakout here to the upside. Now the macro story here for Bitcoin and gold, obviously, going back a ways, is that Bitcoin has been gaining on gold quite a bit. But recently, there has been a pullback. There's been a nice little pullback ski. And, it's been all through this period as Bitcoin has also been pulling back against the dollar. Now, we are seeing a potential break of that trend. A potential break of this pullback. I'm sorry, not a break of the trend. A resumption of the trend. So this has been the pullback that has been the break of the trend. And now we should be resuming higher here. with this current bullish. And the bears don't want you to know that. The bears want to conceal the truth. The bears want to keep you from your gains. They want to keep you in the dark, and they want you to wallow in the sorrows of fear that there may never come another bullish day for Bitcoin. But alas, we gaze upon the charts today, whether they be the daily, the 4-hour, and we can extrapolate some quite a bit of bullishness. And we look the bears dead in the face and we say, bears, return to your hibernation, for you have no power here. You have no victory in the crypto charts. So let's take a look here. We're getting a little crazy today. We're getting a little poetic. One thing I want to point out is that on the Bitcoin chart here on the daily, what are we seeing? We're seeing the Bollinger Bands starting to widening out here in this moment. Well, what does that mean? That means that there's more volatility is what it means just on the dot on the charts. However, in the fundamental world and on Twitter, we're seeing a decent amount of varied opinions. Folks are split on where we're going next. Clearly, the bulls are in control right now, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to last, right? When the Bollinger Bands widen, the possibilities become wider, right? The possibilities of what could happen become wider. The left and the right boundary become further away, right? So what could happen is more varied. Let's take a look here at the MACD. As you can see here on the daily, green histograms. See, all throughout here, we've been charting it this week. All throughout here, I've been just clicking away from the MACD because I was like, what does this even mean? What is this? This looks terrible. This looks like a bad haircut, right? But now we're starting to see some good formation. And all along here, these have been green histograms, except this guy right here. But all along here, it's mainly had a slightly bullish bias, and now that bullish bias has turned into an actual price movement to the upside, which is really nice to see. Those MACD lines as well playing along here, getting some movement to the upside, blue over orange. So that's the MACD, and that's all you really need to see. Not really. There's a lot more. But we've had this breakout here. So we've broken out of this downtrending line of what was resistance all throughout here, and now is support. I'd say that the retest of this line is probably imminent, but right now we're in price discovery to the upside, right? So coming back down is going to be a chore for another day, coming back down to these levels, and there's a good chance that it just doesn't happen, right? We break higher and we go ahead and move into a different type of trend. Let me go to this other chart here that's a little cleaner to show you what I mean by that. So, thought it would be cleaner. Let's kill all this. Die. And you die. Okay. So we come over here. We got the Bollinger Bands. Let's kill those as well. So we've basically been in this downtrending channel, you could say. At one point, it was a descending wedge if you want to get super specific about it. But for all intents and purposes, we've broken out of that, right? Now, what I think a lot of people are kind of zooming in on, and by people I mean investors, that's not what I want. Yeah, sure. Because I'm trying to illustrate this. Now, nope. Now what we could be starting to see is a new channel to the upside, right? Something like this. And then, that's potentially what we could be seeing here. Across into a new channel that is going to make this other channel here history, right? This was the bears moment. This was the bears, a lot of talk. Oh, lower highs. Well, now we have gotten a higher high. We have gotten a higher low, and it looks good. Let's go down to the 4-hour back over here on this other chart that I've got going on. And I want to see how far away from the platinum pocket we are, because we are not far away here. Only 1.7%. Very, very close to that golden pocket, to that platinum pocket. And look how much higher of a low this is as well. This is a much higher low than this low was to this little, new low formations here. So that's bullish for sure. I'm tempted to say cup and handle, but I'm not sure about that. I was also tempted to say head and shoulders on ChainLink. I should leave this one alone, bros, but I think I'm gonna do it. I mean, one thing that you could say here is that this could be a Head and Shoulders. T-Shroom, what the heck? T-Shroom, no, don't draw it, don't draw it. Yeah, there you go. Could be the Head and Shoulders for ChainLink. I'm thinking probably not. It'd be very, very big. I mean, this one would be going back to November, right, for this Head and Shoulders. I don't think that that's a Head and Shoulders, but it does look like one. Let's go back over to Bitcoin. All right. So overall here, it's looking bullish. We've broken out of this level, right? And we're starting to head higher. Platinum Pocket really, I think, is the next resistance here. We have been hitting some resistance right here at 66,500, only wicking above that level so far. So that'll be nice to see a clearance above that. That was a level kind of back here that we were wrestling with as well. And this was a place that we have not spent a lot of time in general, right? This is kind of the area that we've zoomed past. This level here. So my guess is that it won't take much for us to go ahead and push higher. But right now this is the level to beat, the 66,500. Right now we're taking a little bit of a breather before trying to take another whack at that level. But we've already pushed lower. Oops. We've had our price discovery we've had like a nice establishment above this level here of 64,008. We've established a nice base and put in even a low above that with a wick just below it, I will point out. But now we're pushing higher, right? And we haven't put in a higher high, right? So this could be a harbinger that we are going to come back down, and we could be starting to see maybe a pennant form, something like this right here. I'm not calling it yet because it's not there yet, but something like that start to form in consolidation for the next move higher. I like that. I'm going to leave those lines there. See how we come up with that. Kyle Fields saying, yo, what is up, Kyle Fields? El Thoro said, do you guys think, first part, yes, I do think, 67K and 52K. So which comes first? Well, I think in the spirit of that question, 67K, because we're much closer to 67K. Right? So, yeah. 52K? I think I know why you're asking that question. I'm thinking 52K. There's a chance we never see it again, but, we'll see. So we're going to get to the story here in just a second that may give you a little bit more of a thorough answer to that. We're halfway through the show. I'm going to try to stick to it because I've actually got a crazy schedule today. Go ahead and hit the like, peeps. Let's send T-Shroom off with a bang to his bachelor party. Yes. The bachelor party is going to be so much fun this weekend. Yes. What about the dollar T-Shroom? Let's take a look at the Dixie. El Thoro throwing up the Dixie. Well, throwing up the dollar. I don't even know if he wants me to look at the Dixie, but I assume he does. Before we do, we got caught up here on Kaspa charts. Kaspa, man, really trying to... Okay, so it's printed some... it had already printed candles above this downtrending line of now support. I would say this is a good test here. It's just messy, right? It's weird. Like, it's not really obeying this downtrending line of support. Perhaps I didn't draw it super well. That looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. To me, maybe you could have drawn them more on the candlesticks, but I think I tried to do that, didn't I? Maybe I didn't do it on the 4-hour. Anyway, Kaspa, looking pretty good, looking bullish. Not as bullish as ChainLink and Bitcoin just yet. What was I going to do? The Dixie. Yes. Ondo, looking really bullish. So Ondo has been flat, as Bitcoin has kind of been like... kind of in a downward channel like this, right? As you can see, like Ondo has just been like, nah, we're going to just chill and go sideways, go straight. That's very bullish, right? Especially for a coin that has a strong association with BlackRock, right? This is a bullish coin, very bullish in my opinion. I own a decent amount of it. And look, it's going very high, very fast here. Any kind of spark in the general crypto market of bullishness, and it's moving, baby. All right, let's see. Dixie. So the Dixie has been dumping. Again, we were tracking this ascending wedge here. We were thinking it was going to dump and just go on down to 100 and stay down below 100, and we did not get that. We have been moving back up for the Dixie, even putting up these highs here that eclipse the highs of 104.9, getting all the way back up to 106. Whew. But now we're back down. We're kind of seeing if the dollar is going to find some support on these older high levels and if it's going to push higher. I'm guessing that we're going to continue to see sideways to downward Dixie movement, which is bullish for Bitcoin. That is going to be my guess. Bros, let's go ahead and jump on into the news here because we've got some interesting stuff. Thank you, El Thoro, for shouting out the Dixie. That was helpful. For show. Tim has texted me. Let's see what Tim has said. I know you live, but reminder to do the Saturday thumbnail. Yeah, Tim. Tim's always worried about these thumbnails. Just chill, man. We're going to make the thumbnails, okay? Let's see. Layla Crypto throwing up the rocket ship in the money bags. Let's go. Fade and TradFi said the old bump and run is my favorite. Very nice. Where is Link going now? All right. Let's see. Crux of Crypto said he's bullish on Ondo. Jupe, T-Shroom, what's your thoughts? Jupe, probably very bullish. Probably going to do very, very well. The DEX coin for Solana. I mean, what else do you need to hear? T-Shroom is king nerd of the nerd bros. Show me more Bollinger Bands. I do love some Bollinger Bands. What's your thoughts on Stacks, STX? I've got a lot of it. It's been having a pullback recently. I'm not sure why. That may be on fundamentals, but I'm not sure. Make a thumbnail of a thumbnail and send it to him. Yeah, that's funny. Ada Rich Gang. All right, let's jump into the stories here. We are going to scrape the boat. We're going to scrap the boat. Scrap. We are going to scrap the boat. Okay. Wow. Hope you have fun the weekend and don't spend too much crypto. Haha. I will be spending zero crypto. I can assure you of that. Ether could surprise to the upside in the coming months, Coinbase says. This is an interesting one here. Coinbase kind of showing their cards of how much more of a bias they have for Ethereum. Ether may have the potential to surprise to the upside in the coming months, the report said, noting that the cryptocurrency does not have major sources of supply-side overhangs, such as the token unlocks or pressure created by miner sales. Ooh, okay. To the contrary, both staking and Layer 2 growth have proven to be meaningful, and growing sinks to ETH liquidity, wrote analyst Dan Hahn. ETH's position as the center of decentralized finance is also unlikely to be displaced, in our view, due to the widespread adoption of the Ethereum virtual machine and its Layer 2 innovations. Crux, what do you think about this? I'm interested to get your take. Even if the first deadline of May 23rd, 2024 encounters a rejection, we think there is and he's talking about the ETFs, we think there is a high likelihood that litigation could reverse that decision. The note said, in the interim, we believe the structural demand drivers for Ethereum, as well as technological innovation within its ecosystem, will enable it to continue straddling across multiple narratives. Sure. So the buy thesis is intact for Ethereum, is what Coinbase commentators are saying, David Hahn. And I tend to agree. I do tend to agree. Now, this part here gets into our next story. Talking kind of, I do think that Coinbase is being a little bit opportunist here, taking this opportunity to kind of point out Ethereum doesn't have miner sales, right? Which is kind of the biggest, well, one of the bigger bearish narratives on the Bitcoin side today and yesterday. Army Piper was sliding into the chat saying 52,000 could be coming, and then did a show about it because of the miner sales, miner capitulation. Well, I've got some thoughts on that, and while they're not completely conclusive, these are the hash ribbons that are the indicator of the miner capitulation, and indeed, we have reached a point where, according to the hash ribbon, we are in this red zone now, right? And that is typically a point where there can be limited upside, right? JP Morgan even had that's not what we wanted. JP Morgan had an article on it yesterday. We didn't read it on the 3 p.m., but I had it pulled up to read. There can be limited upside. But if you look at the Bitcoin price, it's not caring about that right now. Now, that could change, right? But the Bitcoin price is pushing higher highs and higher lows, right? So you want to be careful. And this isn't FUD, though. This isn't FUD coming from some bank or from some politician, right? This is coming from historical phenomenon with the hash ribbon indicator in minor capitulation. So this is something that has historical precedent. The question is should it affect your decision making? Is it going to affect the market's decision making? And I want to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comments. One person who's commented on this that I actually respect quite a bit here is Mark Yusko. So Mark Yusko tweeted out, believe it was this morning. Anyway, he tweeted out this time, not different, this hashtag not different this time. And this was from Charles Edwards. All 5 miner price was less than, all 5 times miner price was less than Bitcoin electrical cost. Tell me again why this time is different. So kind of showing that all 5 times, we were in a similar situation, a similar miner to electrical cost dynamic that we are in now. And each time it was still pretty bullish, right? Each time it was a good time to buy and to accumulate for the long term. So Mark Yusko, he's someone who I could definitely see like finding out about this or kind of, getting tipped off that this indicator is taking place, doing the research and coming to this conclusion. Not different this time, right? We can read a couple of different, let me see if there's any responses to this tweet that were of note. But we got a couple more stories here, and then I'll be signing off probably right at 9:30. Let's see. Humblot's cabinet said, according to that chart, why would anyone even bother Bitcoin mining to profit? Not talking about securing a network. Okay, so that would be agreeing with, not agreeing with Yusko's point here. It's not different, Charlie. We're going to absolutely rip over the next 12 to 18 months, said Mike Alfred. Let's see. We're looking at Bitcoin, some levelized energy cost measurement, and index of miners. Is that right? So it's just someone trying to understand it. Stop trying to get so fancy. They are just beta to Bitcoin. Market dynamics evolve. Let's analyze current factors. Interesting. All right. So, yeah, overall here, you can do whatever you want, but I kind of side with Yusko is that I just don't see 52,000 coming as a result of this. And I did do a little bit of research into the mining capitulation. It's not clear to me that miners are capitulating in terms of selling Bitcoin. It seems like what capitulation implies is that they're turning off their miners until the price of Bitcoin becomes more elevated to counteract the electricity costs. But what's stopping a miner from just leaving their Bitcoin miner on and taking a loss in anticipation for Bitcoin price going up, right? I think a lot of folks would make that decision. All right. Kyle Fields, I don't think we're going to have time to jump into stocks today, just because I gotta end right at 9:30 because I've got to getting picked up for my bachelor party and I haven't packed for it yet. Come on, T Shroom. How could you be so behind the 8 ball here on this? I'm sorry, guys. Papa Guth says Tom Crown has free TV course. Let's see. ETH ETF would be insanely bullish for crypto as a whole. ETH has to first get through SEC. Next ETF approval. These two catalysts, I believe, will be completed by May of next year. I could see that. Definitely could see that. Very cool. Papa Guth said, just asking because you guys seem legit. Wondering if the class is worth the dough. The class. Do you and Timmy both learn TA from Jeb's course? I believe Tim said he did when he started with Jeb. So it's been a long time since I've checked in with the products over at Crypto Jeb's channel, But I can tell you, Crux and I and Tim, we had a meeting yesterday about how we're going to be able to help you all learn how to trade. And so I would say probably hold out for what we've got. That would be my answer. Being married is so fun, bro, said Cloud Fields. I love it. I love it. Maybe not 52, but 50K is another story. Yeah. I'll be interested to see what happens here with this. I mean, I do think that this is from an inside baseball, and that's what we try to do here. Inside crypto, really get into the deeper layers of crypto and figure out what the heck is going on. I do think at this point it's kind of anyone's say of what happens with the mining capitulation. I think that there's strong arguments on both sides, whether or not the mining capitulation phase that we're in, which is indicated by the Look Into Crypto's version of the hash ribbon indicator, right? These red vertical areas indicate, a minor capitulation phase. However, does that mean that price go down for Bitcoin? Not necessarily. And 52,000, I think, is in my opinion, right, which is just my opinion, I just don't see us getting there because of this narrative, right? I think that it may not be ideal for miners right now, but what is the solution to it? It's not for price to go down, it's for price to go up. That's the solution, because then it makes mining profitable again. All right, another indicator of this is the overall ETF action here. Check it out. So the ETF inflows have come up quite a bit. And Eric Bulkanis was chiming in on it. The Bitcoin ETFs have put together a solid 2 weeks with 1.3 billion in inflows, which offsets the entirety of the negative outflows in April. Boom. That is it right there, baby. And see, that is why I'm I'm unsure that the minor capitulation, while it's been a bigger factor in the past, perhaps, that I just don't think I think this time is different. The ETFs have shown that this time is different, does apply not to the market overall so far. I don't think it's going to knock off the 4-year cycle or anything, but there are some ifs, ands, or buts, right? Because the ETF inflow is just so massive and powerful. Putting them back around high watermark of 12 billion net since launch. This key number, in my opinion, because it net inflows and outflows, which are normal. This key number, in my opinion, because sorry, he wrote it poorly and I'm still learning how to read. Let's see here. I know what he's talking about though, so let me illustrate this with a nice reference. So this number, more than likely is going to be getting back up above 12 billion. But what Eric is quoting, it sounds to him like he's seeing somewhere where it's already 12. That's right, because this is a lagging number. So this is lagging. This is not up-to-date information. So this number is now live 12.3 or whatever he's quoting it as. So Eric has access to that Bloomberg terminal where he has, I think, real-time access to the ETF inflows. But they get reported at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every day. So it's not real-time. But anyway, you get the picture. Bullish. It's bullish. The ETFs are back, right? There's been a time of slowing inflows and even a big spike of outflows. That likely was the bottom, perhaps, for GBTC. Now we're seeing those inflows roaring back, and so that's the reason why I'm not bullish. That's the reason why I'm not that bearish on all this. Willy Woo also had some pretty good insights here. Here's the bigger picture of where Bitcoin is in its liquidity cycle. It's still doing warm-up exercises. It's consolidating under all-time highs during this time. Long time frame risk signal is quite low. Risk only starts climbing after the floodgates open. So I'm not sure what he's talking about with risk here, but if you take a look, consolidation after highs here, consolidation after highs here, breakout, and obviously breakout here, consolidation after high at the highs. I said after every single time. Consolidation at the highs, breakout. Consolidation at the highs, breakout. Consolidation at the highs, what could come next? Could we have a drop down to 52? Absolutely. Like, anything can happen, and minor capitulation is something that is historically been significant, so don't count it out, bros. Do not count it out. Don't. Right? This is not a time to be getting froggy with it, but I'm not selling anything. The minor capitulation narrative, to me, is not motivating me to sell at all, right? Or even pause my DCA. One more story here. Justice Department submits proposal regulation to reschedule marijuana. This could be very, very bullish for people in America for a lot of reasons I won't get into, and could also be very bullish for the economy, as this commodity is going to be properly taxed. And it's not just the medical and recreational uses of the substance, it's also the infrastructure aspect. This is a plant that hasn't been able to be used for applications, for industrial applications. Now, is it going to be the silver bullet and fix every single problem out there? No, but it's going to be able to have some competitive advantages that are going to boost the U.S. economy. And this one happens to be brought to you by Joe Biden, it seems. So, we're all having fun here. Bros, thank you so much for tuning in. I will not be live on 3 p.m., but that doesn't mean you shouldn't tune in, because TA Tim is going to be bringing it, and he's going to be bringing it hard. He's going to be having some fun over there at 3 p.m., so make sure you tune in. And then I believe he's going to be going live Saturday at 11 a.m., so make sure you tune in. I should be back for the 3 p.m. show on Monday. I may even be back for the 9 a.m. show on Monday, but I'm not going to promise that at this point. Papa Guth said, they have so many legal versions of THC, it's crazy. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in. It's been great. It's been great. Drew P said, have some fun, T-Shroom. Look like you found an awesome lady. All the best to you. Thank you so much. Absolutely. No bears. No bears this weekend. Have fun, T-Shroom. Have a fun weekend. Absolutely. Thank you so much for everybody tuning in. All right. Well, if you're staying hydrated, you must be human. And if you're using those stop losses, you must be a trader. Have fun and be safe this weekend, guys. Adios.
Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots that bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros. Army pipe, lethal on trade. Entries and exits, worthy of praise. Tim, the professor of the TA. Shout it out loud on the PA. T-Shroom's news, got the word. Doing better than what he deserves. Beamer, leave no evidence. Soon fly coop with his dividend. Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots that bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros.